All right. Let's see. All right, I'm just gonna wait a couple minutes for people to get here. And then we'll get started. I'm pacing because I'm thinking. We'll start in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. If you need water, get yourself water. Grab yourself water. And if you need anything to modify, I'm pretty sure you all know what you need to modify by now. So if you need anything to modify, grab that. Okay. So when you're ready, let's get on our mat here. Get on our yoga mat. In a comfortable seated position. If you're comfortable with your legs crossed, go ahead and cross your legs. If you're not comfortable with your legs crossed, you can always extend them out front. Just making sure you're in a comfortable position so we can just start with some breathing. So let's just take our hands, bring it to heart center, pressing our thumbs into our heart. This is our Anjali Mudra. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. One more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. And let go of any control you have over your breath. Coming back to your natural breathing. We're just using these first few moments with our breath. Just taking time to calm our minds and our bodies. Taking time to appreciate this time we're going to spend together for the next hour. Practicing some self-care. And if you'd like, you may set an affirmation or an intention for your practice or for your day at this time. Affirmations may start with I am, I will, or I choose. Breathing in that affirmation. Breathing out the worry, the doubt, the fear, the negativity. Breathing it all away. And then coming back to your breath. And on your next inhale, you can release your hands and start to rotate your head to the right. Inhale back, exhale forward. Moving with your breath. Couple more times, moving our head to the right. And then we'll start moving our head to the left. Same thing, inhale back, exhale forward. Move a couple more times to the left side. Bring your head back to neutral. Let's roll into the shoulders. Take your hands, place them on your shoulders. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, back and down. Move with your breath. Inhale up, exhale down. Move those elbows backwards a couple more times. And move your elbows forward. Inhale up, exhale forward and down. Move them a couple more times forward. Shoulders come back to neutral, release the shoulders. Inhale the arms up, interlace the fingers as you press those palms towards the ceiling. Exhale, release the hands as you twist to your right. Left hand rests on the outside of right knee, right fingertips face the back wall. And go ahead and let your gaze follow that back shoulder, looking over your back shoulder. Take an inhale, come back to center, interlace the fingers, palms, press away. Exhale, twist to the left, right hand on the outside of left knee. Left fingertips face the back of the room, gaze over the left shoulder. Take an inhale, come back up to center, interlace the fingers, press the palms away again. Exhale, release the hands down to the ground. Take your right hand, plant it down on the ground beside you as you drop your left ear to the left shoulder. And then just move your head forward and back slowly. Getting a good stretch in our neck space. Couple more times. Bring your head back to neutral. Left hand rests down on the ground. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Move your head forward and back slowly. Couple more times. Stretching our neck. Let's bring our head back to a neutral space. Let's bring our arms out wide. Inhale. Exhale, crossing right arm over left. Grabbing either shoulder. Nice tall straight back. Tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale, arms come back out wide. Exhale, cross left arm over right. Grab either shoulder. Tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale. Exhale, release the shoulders. Let's stretch these wrists out. First finger and thumb together. Pinky stick together. Hands roll off of each other. Roll them towards your body. Should feel some of those crackles and pops coming out of your wrists and shoulders. Do the same thing, roll them away. Release the fingers, take the hands, interlace the fingers, and we'll just roll our wrists some more. Want to make sure our wrists are stretched for our vinyasa and holding our down dog and all that stuff. Release the fingers, hands come to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, hands press into each other, lowering down towards the hips, stretching these fingers. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Let's come up on hands and knees. Let's do a little bit of cat-cow here. Bring those hands underneath the shoulders and the knees, underneath the hips. Let the eyes of the elbows face the front of the room. Inhale, drop the belly, flip the tailbone up, chin lifts up. Exhale, round the tailbone under, chin comes down to the chest. Press into the hands. Moving in and out of those two positions, inhaling up, exhaling down. Couple more times here. And go ahead and start to freely move your head and hips in a circle if you like. Or you can stay with your cat-cow. Moving them to one side and then to the other. Come back to neutral. Bring those big toes together. Start to shift your weight back, bringing your hips back towards the heels as we come to child's pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, melt down. Now, whether you like your knees close together or far apart might depend on how comfortable you are. I'm going to start with my knees far apart. Feel free to do the same. Go ahead and take your hands, bring them together. Bending at your elbows, bringing your hands behind your head. Maybe even rounding that tailbone down, pulling the belly button back. And release the hands, let's float our body up to table position. Preparing to come up to our first down dog. Remember, if down dog isn't for you, you can stay down on the knees. Extend the arms out. Come to puppy pose. That's just down on the knees with arms extended. If you're ready, you can tuck your toes under. Start to lift your hips up and back. Coming to down dog. Coming up on the toes and then pressing the heels down. Bending one knee at a time, maybe. Come back to neutral. Take your gaze, bring it up in between your hands. Start to walk those feet up behind the hands. Let's come to a forward fold. Let's bring a deep bend into the knees. Maybe grabbing the elbows and pulling the elbows down and away, deepening your stretch. Release the elbows. Keep that deep bend in your knees. Chest rests on your legs. And start to roll up to standing. One vertebrae at a time. Let those arms come with you. Coming up to standing, hands meet at the top. Inhale. Exhale, bring those hands to heart center. Good. Coming back to the top of our mat. Take your hands, let them rest at your sides, palms facing outward. Making sure those knees are soft. Feel free to rock back and forth from the balls of your feet to your heels. This just helps me to feel grounded in my mountain pose. If you feel more grounded being still, you can do so. Let's work through some salutations. Let's work through a sun salutation A and a sun salutation B, also known as Surya A or Surya B. Sweep those arms up, inhale. Hands meet at the top, very small back bend. Exhale, fall down to forward fold. Uttanasana. Hands can reach down to the mat, or you can grab the elbows. Come up to a half lift, lifting and lengthening. Hands can rest on the shins. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands down in front of the feet as we move back to a plank position. Stepping or jumping back to plank or modified plank. If you need to modify, drop down to the knees. Make a ramp from your hips down to the knees. Or you can stay up in full plank. Inhale. Exhale. Let's lower all the way down to the belly for this one. All the way down to the belly. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Keep the elbows tucked in, pressing into the hands, just lifting the chest for cobra. And we'll make our way back to down dog. You can tuck your toes under, coming straight back, or you can move through child's pose and come up. Let's do what works for you. And remember, you can be down in puppy pose if you're not ready for down dog, or you can even be down in child's pose. Couple more breaths. Take your gaze, bring it up in between the hands. Step or jump the feet up behind the hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Either fingertips on the ground or hands on shins. Exhale, melt down a forward fold. Roll up to standing, arms come with you. Inhale. Hands get at the top, small back bend. Exhale, the hands to heart center. And then back down to your mountain pose. Let's move through Surya A another time, or sun salutation A another time. And then we'll add a couple steps moving on to sun salutation B. So sweep the arms up, inhale. Small back bend. Exhale, fall down, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands down. Step or jump back to modified plank or full plank. Shift your weight forward over your hands. If you want a little more this time, when you lower down halfway. Or you can lower down all the way to the belly. Peel the chest for cobra, or if you want more, we'll straighten those elbows, coming up to up dog. Shoulders engaged. Inhale. Exhale, make your way back to down dog. Remember, your modifications are puppy pose or child's pose. Take a couple breaths. Gaze comes up in between the hands. Step or jump the feet up behind the hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, melt down a forward fold. Roll up to standing, arms come with you. Inhale. Hands meet at the top, small back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Let's move through a sun salutation B. Starting back at our mountain pose. Sweep the arms up, inhale. Small back bend. This time when you exhale, shift your weight into your heels. Come down into your tiny chair. Should be able to wiggle your toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, melt down a forward fold. Inhale, up to half lift. Fingertips on ground or hands on shins. Exhale, hands come down in front of the feet. Step or jump back to plank. Move through your vinyasa, lowering down either halfway or all the way down. Lifting up to cobra or all the way up to up dog. Then making your way back to puppy pose, child's pose, or down dog. Take a few breaths. And our next inhale, let's walk our left foot in a half step. Start to extend that right foot up and back. Inhale. If you want to do this down on your knees, you can as well. Exhale. Instead of stepping the foot straight through, we're going to come to tiger pose. So we'll shift our weight forward, bring our knee in towards our nose. Then extend back again. Inhale. Exhale, shift your weight forward again. This time, go ahead and step that foot all the way up in between the hands. Rotate the back heel down flat. We'll sweep our arms up, coming to warrior one. Bring those hips square with the front of the room. Arms sweep up, shoulders relax, palms facing each other. Make sure your knee is aligned over your ankle. Inhale. Exhale, bring those hands down to either side of the foot. Step that left foot back. We'll move through our vinyasa, lowering down all the way to the belly or halfway. Inhaling, just peeling the chest or coming up to up dog, and then coming back to down dog. If you need to rest, come down to puppy pose or child's pose. Otherwise, let's take our breaths before we move to the same thing on the other side. Take your right foot, walk it in a half step. Left leg extends up and back. Inhale. Exhale forward, tiger pose. Inhale back. Exhale, go ahead and step that foot up. Rotate that back heel down flat. Square your hips with the front of the room. Sweep the arms up for warrior one. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, bring the hands down on either side of the foot. Left foot steps back. Move through your vinyasa. Moving back to your down dog, child's pose, or puppy pose. Remembering to do what works for your body. Take your gaze, bring it in between your hands. Step or jump the feet up behind the hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, melt down and forward fold. Roll up to standing. Inhale. Exhale, sit back into your chair again. Shift your weight into your heels. Inhale, straighten those legs out, small back bend. Exhale, the hands to heart center. Good. Release those hands down to the side. Come to mountain pose. Lovely. Just taking a couple breaths here. If you need some water, go ahead and take a quick sip of water. Try not to guzzle your water. I'll take a sip too. When you're ready, we're back in our mountain pose. We'll sweep our arms up. Inhale. We'll step back with our left foot, coming to high lunge. And if you need some more stability, go ahead and rotate that back heel down flat. But if you can, try to stay up on that back toe. Good. Inhale. Exhale, bring those hands down on either side of the foot. Put that left hand down. Extend that right arm up towards the sky. If you need some stability, come down on the back knee. Good. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead and come down on that back knee if you're not there already. And either reach for this back foot, just reaching your hand back, or if you're able to grab it, go ahead and bend your knee, grabbing that back foot, opening the chest up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, release that foot. Bring that right hand around, coming up off of that back knee. We're going to rotate the back heel down flat. Start to straighten this front knee. Come into a pyramid pose. Now, if you need to keep your knee bent, feel free. Otherwise, we'll straighten this front knee as much as we can, lengthening, and then melting our chest down towards this front knee. Good. Let's bend into this front knee and sweep our arms up. Come into warrior one. So bring your hips square at the front of the room. Let their back heel be rotated down flat. Inhale. Exhale, bring those hands to heart center. We're going to shift our weight into this right leg, and we'll come to warrior three. So for warrior three, go ahead and lower your chest down. Feel free to keep this back foot tapping down for stability, or if you're comfortable, try to bring your body parallel to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead and rest that foot down. Come to a lunge position. Step that right foot back, and you can take a break here in your child's pose, or if you want to keep moving, you can move through your vinyasa. Lower down. Inhale up, cobra up dog. Exhale, down dog. Remember, you can take a rest at any time. When you're ready, gaze comes up in between the hands. Walking the feet up behind the hands. Roll up to a standing position. Inhale. Exhale, step back with this right foot this time. Coming up to your high lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, bring those hands down on either side of the foot. Right hand can plant down on the inside of the left foot. Left arm extends up. If you need stability, bring that back knee down. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead and bring that back knee down if you haven't already. Reaching for that back foot, just reaching that hand back. Or if you can grab it, bend at the knee, go ahead and grab it. Bring your gaze up towards the sky if you can. Inhale. Exhale, release the foot. Come up off of that back knee, bring that back heel down. Lowering down the pyramid pose. If you need to bend your front knee, go ahead and bend that front knee. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead and bend into that front knee, bringing it over the ankle, and then sweep those arms up, come to warrior one. I know that front leg is quivering. That's okay. We're going to strengthen this quad, strengthen our hamstring too. Take the hands, bring it to heart center. Float your body, shifting your weight onto this left foot. This is your chance to get a little break off your leg. Then when you're ready, we can roll down, lower down. Maybe keeping this back foot tapping down as much as you need it, or coming down to your warrior three with your body parallel to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead and lower that back foot down. Hands come down on either side of the foot. Step that left foot back, come to plank. And we'll do your vinyasa, or you can take a rest. Take some breaths. Take your gaze, bring it up in between the hands. Start to step or jump the feet up behind the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, melt down to a forward fold. Nice deep bend in our knees here. Letting the chest rest down on top of the thighs. Roll up to standing. Arms come with you. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take the feet, step them out a little bit wider than hips width, maybe about the width of your mat. Hands are at heart center, and we're going to lower down into Malasana squat. So for Malasana squat, I would like for you to try to keep your feet flat on the ground and bring your elbows on the inside of your knees. So it'll just look like this. Some people might be up higher, and some people might be able to bring those hips down lower. So just find the area of comfort for yourself. Pushing yourself a little bit, but not to the point of where you're feeling any pain. Maybe just some pressure. And then kind of push your elbows into your knees, opening your hips wider and push your knees into your elbows. Good. Now from here, I want you to lower down onto your hips. So maybe those hands come behind you. You just come to a seated position and bring your feet out in front for our boat pose, Navasana. And then if you can, let those arms float out in front, but feel free to keep the hands here for stability. And then maybe if you're feeling comfortable, you'll come down to Ardha Navasana, half boat, and back up to full boat. Maybe 2 more times. Good. 1 more time. Good. And lower your legs down. Roll up to a table position. If you want to move through a vinyasa, you can. And if you want to take a rest, you can. If you want to move the vinyasa, go ahead and bring those feet back, come to plank, and move the vinyasa. Take some breath here. Let's do that 1 more time. Bring your gaze up in between your hands. Step your feet up behind your hands. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, go ahead and roll down to a forward fold. Roll up to standing, deep into the knees, arms come with you. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Step your feet out, maybe a little bit wider than the width of your mat. And we'll come down to our Malasana squat again. Staying up high if you need to, or coming down low if you're able. Really stretching the hips out here today. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead and bring those hands behind you. Lower those hips down. Whenever you get down to a seated position is fine, as long as it's gently. Feet come out in front. Feel free to use your hands as support. Staying here if you like. Moving up to bring your arms out in front if you like. And then maybe moving down to Ardha Navasana. 1, 2 more. 2, 3. Good. Lowering the legs down, coming back up to table. You can sit your hips back towards your heels and come to child's pose if you like, or you can move to a vinyasa if you want. I know a lot of people will sometimes watch and say, I can't do that. But the key to making the practice for you is to use the modifications and to take a break at any time. And that'll carry you through any practice. Just knowing how to work into your body, knowing what your body's needs, knowing what you're able to reach, and challenging and pushing yourself, but not to the point of where you hurt yourself. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop down to your knees, float your body forward. Let's come down to our belly, bringing our hands underneath our shoulders. And from here, we're just gonna pulse ourselves up into Cobra, and then back down to a flat belly. That's all I want you to do. Keep those elbows tucked in. Up and down. Inhale up, exhale down. Couple more times. And let's shift our weight back, moving ourselves back to child's pose. Big toes come together. These could be far apart or close together, depending on what you like. I'm gonna have a wide knee child's pose right now. Melt down. Let's take an inhale, come up out of your child's pose. Let's bring our knees together and melt our body down on top of our knees. Only if this is comfortable for you. If not, you can stay where you are, or if your hips are getting tired, you can move into that puppy pose. Couple more breaths. And if you're not already there, go ahead and float your body up to table position. And we're going to move into a shoulder stretch. So you can extend your arms at our front to start. Maybe stretch your shoulders a little bit. Coming down to puppy pose. Maybe letting your forehead come down to the mat. Coming back up to table, we'll take an inhale, extending our right arm out to the side. Exhale, flip the palm upward, bring it behind the left arm. Bring your right ear, right shoulder down. And on your next inhale, press into the left hand. Come back up to table. Extend the left arm out to the side. Inhale. Exhale, bring it behind your right arm. Left ear, left shoulder come down. I can feel my body starting to relax, starting to wind down. Press into the right hand, come back up to table position. Let's bring our feet out in front. I like to cross my ankles behind me and then bring my feet out in front. But however you get there is fine. Feet are flexed. Let's sweep our arms up. Inhale. Exhale, start to fall forward over the legs, just letting your hands fall wherever they fall. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, sigh it out, melt down deeper. Take a couple more breaths in your seated forward bend. Let's roll our bodies up to a seated position. Let's take our right leg and cross it on top of our left one. And if you can, try to bring that right knee facing the front of the mat, or as close to facing the front of the mat as possible. So that right leg is just kind of bent on top of the left. Knees are kind of on top of each other. If that feels okay. If not, just cross your right leg on top and just let it do its thing. And we're just gonna lower our chest down. Should feel a really good stretch on that left side. Now, if you're super comfortable here and you know this won't hurt you, you can bend your bottom leg as well, letting those knees stack one on top of the other and then lower down. And you'll get a different sensation. You'll feel a sensation in your hip more. Couple more breaths. Move your body back up to a seated position. Let's switch legs. This time, keep your right leg extended. Bring your left leg on top. Knee can face the front of the mat or as close to the front of the mat as possible. Staying here and lowering down. Or bending both knees, stacking them on top of each other and lowering down. Couple more breaths on this side. Rolling back up to a seated position. Taking those feet, bringing them out in front. Go ahead and scoot your hips close to your heels. Bring your hands around those knees. Round down one vertebrae at a time to your flat back. And just take those knees, hug them into the chest. Rocking side to side. Maybe moving those knees in a circle. And we're going to take our arms, bring them on the inside of our knees as we bring the bottom of the feet together. Hands are just going to wrap around those feet and just pull those feet towards you. Stretching those hips out a little bit. Release the feet. Hug the knees in. This to counteract that hip opening. Release the knees. Bring the arms out wide on either side of your body. Cross that right leg on top of the left. And let both knees fall over to the left side. Try to keep your shoulders as close to the ground as you possibly can. Now, if bringing those knees down to the ground seems like a bit much, if you have a pillow nearby or something, you can place them up under the knees to give them some elevation. This will take some of that pressure off of the twist. Couple more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Uncross those legs. Bring them back up to 90 degrees. Left leg on top of right leg this time. Both knees fall over to the right. Remember, if you need some elevation, if you have something nearby, you can place it up under those knees. Couple more breaths on this side. Release the knees, hug them into your chest. Rocking side to side. Come to center. I want you to squeeze everything in as tight as you possibly can. Squeeze your knees in, squeeze your chin up towards your knees, hug your knees as tight as you can. One more time, inhale. Exhale, release. Let those feet come down towards the corners of your mat. Let your arms rest at your sides, palms facing upward. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, side out. And just start to relax your body as we transition into Shavasana. If you're comfortable laying down, you can stay laying down. Or if you prefer, you can come to a seated position. Let's come back to those long breaths. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, side out. Second inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. One more inhale through the nose. This time, hold it at the top. Exhale, side out. And come back to your natural breath. It's using your exhale to allow your body to melt deeper down into the floor. Just imagine that the floor is soft. Imagine that the floor is a sponge. Letting your body be so heavy that each time you let out air, you sink deeper into the sponge. Feeling your body be so relaxed. Let go of any tension you may be holding anywhere in your body. Doing a scan from the top of your head, moving all the way down to your toes. Finding any tense areas and consciously releasing them. Try to let go of the outside thoughts as you're relaxing down in your Shavasana. Some distracting thoughts and worries might try to come into your mind. This is normal and this is okay. But instead of diving deeper and surrendering to the thought, just let the thought pass through and then focus back on your breathing. Reminding yourself that no outside thoughts are important at this time. All that matters right now is you and your breath. Each time you feel your mind wander, just come back to your breath. Each time a distracting thought comes in, gently let it go and focus back on your breath. And on your next inhale, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring subtle movements into the body, just coming back into your body, back into your mind, back into the room. And when you're ready, if you're laying down, you can roll over onto your favorite side, just using your arm as a pillow. We're just taking a couple moments here to reflect on our practice, to revisit any affirmations we said at the beginning of class. And also, we're just showing ourselves some gratitude. Thank yourself for practicing some self-care, for taking an hour to yourself, for cultivating some self-love, some peace, and some harmony. And when you're ready, you can push yourself up to a comfortable seated position, palms facing upward for receiving or downward for grounding. And together we'll take an inhale as we bring our hands up above us, letting them meet at the top. Exhale, float all that loving, warm energy you've cultivated down to heart center. Thank you all for being here with me, for taking this time with me and with each other. I hope your day is filled with joy. Remember to remain optimistic. Remember to cultivate happiness. Thank you for being here. Namaste. All right, friends. Thank you for being here with me. I'm so relaxed. So we'll continue our yoga practice into next week throughout November. And then in December, we'll be taking a break. So this video will be on YouTube for you. So feel free to watch this video as many times as you like. And thank you for being here. Peace and love. Let me see what you guys